Damn.
I bet it's better now.
How now,
Hi.
brown cow?
Hi. You know what we're going to do? We're starting over.
Yeah?
We're starting over.
We're starting. Why don't we just get the other board? How hard is it to get the other board?
It's a huge pain in the
Well, then
ass.
fuck that shit,
It's a
dude. Let's
huge
just,
pain in the
let's just start over, bro.
I mean, I'm starting over for the people watching the live stream. We're going to start over again. Welcome everybody on Facebook, and by everybody I mean the one person that's now watching, because apparently there was no audio, and that drove someone away. Unlike Kareem's show, where apparently when there's no audio on the Facebook Live, that's when people really enjoy it.
Well,
there were some really nice comments on the show Kareem did live, where there was complete silence.
Yes.
And
they thought it was because their phones were messed up.
right.
at least you have people that still try to support and love you. You know.
Yes.
my family's like, oh, you're doing another show? Like, is this one of those sketches you do sometimes?
Is that a sketchy show that you do? Is that one of those sketchy shows?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Oh, my dad was like, he was like, oh, I saw your little podcast. I was like, oh, why it gotta be little?
Yeah, little man.
That's how my folks give you backhanded compliments.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's most people's. I mean, there's two types of parents. There's the type of parents who make everything you do sound like it's great, and then there's what I had, and literally everybody else in comedy too. Where it was like, I saw your little thing that you do there. What's that about?
Yeah.
Little thing.
It's the law. It's the law of diminishing creativity, whatever it might be. It's all good. It's what makes us funny.
Yeah.
It's what is it?
Sure. It's the pain.
I'd like to be funny without all of the baggage from.
I mean, we all would. I mean,
Yeah.
there's that. Let's see. Yeah, I have a message out. See, living in real time, I have a message out to Johnny Taylor Jr., who shot his YouTube stuff that he put up this week.
Yeah.
I forget exactly what it's called because my brain is full.
The nonfiction show.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? I think.
I forget exactly what it's called. Let me look it up here. Facebook, and then I will search for Johnny Taylor because I think it's important to say what it is. So anyway, he shot that here, and he's going to be shooting another one tomorrow. He hit me up and said, hey, can I do it tomorrow? And then my wife hit me up and said, oh, we're going to do this, and this tomorrow. And I said, well, I have Johnny at 1, and then I have an author in to do an audiobook at 4. And she goes, wow, we don't really have that much time then. And I said, well, Johnny hit me up. And she said, hit you up when? And I said, before you brought this up. This is all on text, like just before we sat down to do the show. And she goes, well, I thought we decided this on Sunday. And my response to that was just, no. No, we did not. We did not decide this on Sunday. Yeah, let me call one of these up real quick here because it will say exactly what it is.
Hi, this is Johnny Taylor, and you're watching the nonfiction. Be sure to click.
It's the nonfiction with Johnny Taylor.
Nonfiction.
Shot right. He was sitting right where you are, Jason. Right where you are.
Cool.
So check that out on YouTube. He's got it on his socials. So I said I can ask him if he's willing to bump from 1 to 2:30 to give us more time. Do you want me to do that? So I'm just waiting for a response from him. There is the possibility he's working. There's also a possibility that he's really high and won't see it for a while. Either of those is a distinct possibility.
He also could be smashing right now too.
Well, yeah. I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, it is. It was 6:45 when I sent that.
Hey man, listen.
That's when all the heavy duty smashing happens. At 6:45.
The 6:45 smash.
If you got a teenager at the house and she works from 5 to 8:30, yeah, it's a possibility.
I don't believe he does.
or if like you have has to go do some hit some mics up tonight or something like that as a show, then this might be like
anything is possible.
Prime smash time, bro.
It does say he's active now, so we'll see.
Shit.
We'll see. So.
Smashing right now.
Right. He's actively smashing. I'd thank Kevin Fontana for our theme song, but we didn't play it. So fuck
Yeah.
you, Kevin Fontana. No,
Thanks,
I'm just-
Kevin.
Thanks for nothing.
Thanks for not having the right board set up in here.
Yeah, I blame Kareem.
That is
It's
the one
100%.
person who's watching too.
I blame Kareem. Yeah, thanks for letting us know there was no audio. Appreciate that.
Thank you for helping, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty evident because if I had looked over at the computer where everything is going, the mute button was on from when the board turned itself off. So there's that. Yeah, I mean, this show it's interesting. This show. Yeah, not everyone is full of energy, and we'll do our thing. And I had someone in who on a consult earlier this week, and he was talking about our show because he'd listened to one episode, and super complimentary because he was going to pay me for my opinion. And if you're going to do that, you might as well, think that the person who's giving you their opinion actually has good stuff to say. So I don't know if he was hyping himself up or me, but either way, thank you, William. Anyway, sometimes the show just goes where it goes, and I just let it flow where it flows.
That's what she said.
We're almost 10 years into this show.
10.
Wow.
10 years. In July, it will be 10. Right after the 4th of July, it will be 10 years of this show, of me doing this show with a variety of people, mostly with you two, but with a variety of co-hosts over a decade.
You had some genuine weirdos in there.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Especially Ted.
Ted.
That Ted guy. Hi, Ted.
Hi, Ted.
He's not watching. I know. Oh, maybe he is. There's 3 people now.
What?
Yeah, I know. Facebook Live. It's
Prime time, bro.
Feel the magic of Facebook Live. That's what I like to say. Hey, Joe from the All Eyes on Us podcast has shared. So maybe we'll go from 3 to 5. I'm very excited about that. Why am I'm channeling fucking Stephen Wright and he's not even dead. What's going on here?
Your energy is, like you said,
I'm in a weird energy space.
Yeah.
I just finished a therapy session, and I think that might be part of
So
it.
you're like, it's that cathartic calm, right?
I don't know that that's it.
Full on repression.
I mean, I'm not angry about anything, but other than the fact that it's warmer in this studio than it really should be.
Oh, I'm fine.
Good. Well, that's thank God. And you're sitting right in front of the fire.
Yeah.
With the fire in the see right back there. It's we're getting new air conditioning in here. The landlord assures me they're doing a new HVAC system, so very excited about that. Can you tell how excited I am about it? What's going on? We're never going to get the show. Last night I did a Facebook Live at about the time we were going to do the show, and I ended up really just going through the Facebook Live filters.
Yep, I watched.
And
I saw it.
it turns out that's actually what we're doing. I'm just going to freeform bullshit my way through an hour here, and we'll see how it goes.
Hey, man.
Well, we can't do fuck that guy right because I don't have the sound.
You can't fuck that guy right now. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, nothing works.
That's what she said.
Again, I'm gonna blame Kareem because he had his little podcast in here before.
Blame me.
And I didn't test it. I hit the music and I'm like, what's this music? Fuck is this stuff going on here? And I'm like, oh no, it's actually Kareem's podcast music. It's right here. If you were to listen to Kareem's podcast, you'd hear this. Yeah, it would go on from there. If you listen to his little podcast.
People were like, oh, we're getting new agey over here.
Right. I don't know what's going on. All right, let's get into the show. I've stalled long enough. Kareem, what do you want to talk about? Something about your little podcast?
I want to talk about 2 things real quick.
Okay.
The vote today to make Juneteenth a federal holiday.
All right. Do I get the day off?
You shouldn't.
Son of a bitch.
In fact, you should have to work twice as hard, bro.
Well, to be fair, since I own the place, I can take the day off if I want. I can shut the business down.
That is true. But yeah, Democrats, stop with the bullshit. get your fucking shit done. Get the John Lewis Act passed. Get the George Floyd Act passed. Stop with the bullshit. I don't give a fuck what Joe Manchin is doing. Get the motherfucker in line. You are going to lose the next 2 elections if you do not come through with your promises.
Yeah, that's a great plan, by the way. I encourage everybody to embrace Kareem's anger with that. And if the Democrats don't come through with everything you want, be sure to either not vote so the Republicans win, or just get out and vote Republican, because they'll be better.
It's not vote. If you don't understand where we are right now as a country,
I know where we are.
No, that's where we are.
I know where we are.
That if they do not come, they don't have to do everything that they said, but they have to make an effort, and not some bullshit. Oh, we're going to give you Juneteenth. No, we don't want Juneteenth. We want fucking voting rights. That's what we want.
Okay.
So if you don't give us fucking voting rights or something that's close to what you said, we will be back where fucking Republicans run the country. That's just a matter of, and the other part of that is
that seems counterproductive to me. I know we've had this conversation.
It seems counterproductive, but here's the deal: is we've dealt with this shit before, so for us, it's not going to be
the people on our side aren't doing enough. So let's go to the people who don't want us to have a voice at all.
And I mean, that's the case.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
It's exactly the case, and that's why it's so disheartening.
But the people on our side aren't doing enough. Period.
Well,
so if you're not doing enough, then you're not not doing anything.
That's not true.
That's the same thing. It's the same thing.
It's not, though.
It is the same thing.
So you're equating not doing enough with it's just as good if we have the people who don't want us to have a voice at all, who's doing everything to keep us from voting. If they're running things, that's just the same.
It is this, and in the eyes of the black public, that is the same.
The eyes of the black public need to rub them a little bit, because it is not the same.
And again,
it is not the same.
Again, that's why you should be working on Juneteenth.
Well, I'm not, because it's a Saturday.
Because you don't get it.
It's a Saturday. Well, actually, I will. The All Eyes on Us podcast will be here. So I'll be working for the black man.
Yeah. But again, if they do not come through with some of the shit that they said, that's what's going to happen. And like I said, we're used to shit. The white people are going to be affected by all of the shit that's being passed too. It's not like they were just marching in the streets for us. They were marching in the street because the shit's affected them too.
Okay.
So you're going to catch this shit too, and they're not going to give a fuck whether you're not necessarily not black. They're going to roll back shit on everybody.
Yeah. No.
So
I'm well aware of it. I'm increasingly puzzled by, and I was puzzled by it before. I will continue to be puzzled by it. The equating of you're not doing enough with the people who just want to stamp out your voice and go, it's the same, because it's not the same.
Okay, so
and I get
is the result going to be any different?
Yeah.
What? How?
Absolutely different. How? Because if the Republicans are in charge, then there's no chance of you having.
But
a
I
voice.
think I think I get what he's saying. All right.
Oh no, I get what he's saying.
But basically, if they're not doing enough, they're going to lose the elections in the first place. So that it's going to be the same as other people being in power. So,
but is that what you're saying, or is what you're saying if the Democrats don't do enough, black people are just not going to bother to vote or vote for them? So that's why they're going to lose the election. Let's just be clear about it.
So it's actually both.
Okay.
It is, if they don't see any progress before 2021, if none of Joe Biden's shit gets passed by the end of this year, 2022, it's almost guaranteed that Republicans are going to be back in charge of the House. It's almost guaranteed.
Okay, now is that because African Americans are just going to go, well, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening enough.
No, because it's going to be nothing's happening.
Sure.
Juneteenth is giving us we don't fucking want Juneteenth as a holiday.
Fine, done.
We want
don't get it.
We want fucking voting rights.
Of course.
We want the George Floyd Police Act or something in that vein that passed.
The Voting Rights Act should be number one. Like they're trying to make it so states can steal elections. Like they're trying to like,
Yeah.
they like,
Sure. No.
So-
I see what you're saying.
And the fact is, you're in a place where you can get rid of the filibuster and get that shit through.
You could if
Right.
Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema would back
Right.
it.
So,
But they're not going to.
They're not going to.
So you're
And
talking
so,
about
therefore, you're back
Right.
to the Democrats didn't do anything to do what they needed to do for us.
Okay, so let me sort of flip that around and hit you with this. If nothing happens, nothing changes, right?
Yep.
Okay. If the Republicans get in, things are going to change, and they're going to change for the worse.
Again,
Specifically for people of color, but for a lot of people.
again, we've already been through that shit, so it does not matter. We will deal with it and get through it. Again, police are still police.
No, and I
Police just beat some kids up on the boardwalk in Ocean City, Maryland, last week for walking and supposedly vaping. That just happened last weekend.
It's absolute bullshit.
Right.
It's absolute
So,
bullshit. And
when we continue to see shit like that happen and know that you have said that you were going to put legislation out and you have not enacted any of that shit, that is being seen, and that is being seen as you're not taking us seriously enough to get the shit done.
But look at everything that's gone through the House that's not been taken up in the Senate yet.
And Joe Manchin is a what?
An asshole.
He's a Democrat.
Well, I think
Kristen
little D.
Kristen Sinema is what?
well, she's also a
Another
Democrat.
Democrat.
Right. So
Okay.
you've got two Democrats that are essentially holding things up.
Right. Exactly.
And so that is a reason to just say fuck it and burn the house down.
That is, well, we've already
But
been living in a burning house.
No, and I understand that.
So therefore,
We might as well bulldoze it.
we might as well look. If you motherfuckers ain't going to stand up for it, why are we standing up trying to save the country? If you're not going, look, the Republicans have laid out what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
It has not changed in the last 20 years.
It's actually gotten more oppressive.
Yes, they have, and the Democrats have not reacted in a way that will mitigate what they're doing.
No.
They're still playing like it's 1977 or it's 1982, and Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan can have a drink together and solve shit. That's not what's going on.
No, it's all performative bullshit, and you have people like Matt Gaetz and Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz running through. Ted Cruz posting a video of him saying the Pledge of Allegiance, and posting that this didn't used to be controversial. Ted, it's not controversial now.
Controversial.
It's you're just posting a video of you pledging allegiance to the flag. No one says you can't.
And then when you have a meeting with Joe Manchin and he keeps saying that the filibuster is not rooted in racism when it actually comes out of racism, and I can't even think of it right now. But when it actually, that's the root of it is to prevent bills for African Americans being passed.
Yeah.
And you're not going to do anything about it. That means if you're not on my side, you're on the enemy's side. That's where we are.
And look, I am 1,000% in agreement that shit should be happening, that things should be pushed through. I don't know where Chuck Schumer is on any of this shit. I don't see Chuck Schumer ever.
And
he is the Senate Majority Leader. He is not getting shit done. It is baffling to me that he is not getting shit done.
And we are watching. Motherfuckers are watching all of that shit. How can I go to people that I've told to vote for Joe Biden because he was going to get shit done and nothing's gotten done? And that's the only reason they voted.
But I get that, but I think most people voted for Joe Biden because he wasn't going to fuck things up worse. And I mean, honestly, I don't know too many people that were like, yeah, Joe Biden. They were more like, okay, he ain't going to fuck it up. You know, it's like, do I leave the arsonist with matches in the house, or do I leave the house with the old man who's just going to hang out and do nothing? And I think that's where we are. For most people,
But
it was Joe Biden was that vote to just be like, you know what? I don't have to worry about what crazy shit the president
That's
did today.
what white people voted for. That's
Right.
not what black people voted for.
Well, it's the same guy.
I'm just-
It's the same guy.
same different reasons for the vote.
Well,
So you have different expectations. So
then maybe the expectations were set too high. Are you saying we should have just elected Trump again?
I'm saying that if the Democrats don't fucking come through with some of the shit that they promised, you will end up with that motherfucker again.
Well, we all will.
Yes.
We all will. And as a middle-aged white guy, if I'm just looking personally at me, it ain't going to hit me as hard as it is going to hit a community of color. It just isn't.
Yeah, but the thing is, the community of color would be like, okay, that's white people doing white people shit again. We'll figure out a way around it and do our shit. But white people who are in the Midwest, who are in rural areas, they're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So it's going to hit them.
No, it's absolutely
Yeah.
the thing with everything that the Republicans do is it hits people who don't have means really hard,
Yeah.
whether they realize it or not.
So all the people that are going to vote for them again, not understanding that they're voting against their own interests, it's going to really hit them hard.
Yeah.
Because all of the shit that they benefit from, that they don't want, that the Republicans name something else to keep from, to make it seem like it just benefits black people. All of those people are going to get really fucked on this next go around of if the Republicans get back in office.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Jason, what would you like to talk about? Something light like this?
No, I'm just gonna do some white people shit.
By the way, I feel the need to mention that Jason's profile picture is just the Black Lives Matter logo on Facebook.
Yeah, because it's fucking ridiculous.
I'm just telling you, Jason is on your side too.
So what I'm gonna talk about is Microsoft out there killing the video game industry, like hands down. E3 was just this last weekend, and Microsoft's been buying up all these studios, but they pretty much announced like a brand new game being released every month on the Game Pass for the next year and a half for the rest of this year.
Sure.
In 2022, that includes Forza Horizon 5. Like the Forza Horizon games are hands down the best racing game I've ever played. Like I played a lot of racing games. I played Gran Turismo. I played Project Gotham Racing. I played like all the ones in between, Burnout Paradise. But Forza Horizon's like almost like a role playing game, but with cars. Like you have different things you're trying to do in different lands and stuff like that. I have like 572 cars. I'm like fucking balling, and I have like $12 million in the bank, and I own a castle.
Well, we've certainly gone to a different place than we were a minute ago.
Yeah,
haven't
right.
we?
I'm telling you, man. Also, like Halo Infinite comes out in November. They have Stalker 2 coming. Like it's just like
Stalker 2.
yeah.
I missed the first one.
Stalker's pretty. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a pretty crazy game.
Stalker 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Bethesda talked about Starfield, which is going to be awesome. Bethesda's done the Skyrim games, like the Elder Scroll games, and then also the Fallout games. That's what they're known for. And this is their first foray, like first new IP, first new like universe that they've created in like 25 years. And it comes out next year exclusively for the Xbox. It's just it was just awesome. Like because honestly, since 2013, since the launch of the Xbox One, like they've not had a good lineup of like games directly from Microsoft, and they stuttered. Like Xbox 360, like was not the same level as the PlayStation 3 necessarily, but it was still really wide. Like it wasn't uncommon for people to have both. Like people were playing Xbox a lot, and then the Xbox One just like it all dropped off, and they didn't really have any studio driven items. And then they introduced the Game Pass like 2 years ago, and we're like, this is what the future is going to be. This ability to pay $15 a month and play. There's 350 games I can choose from. Like I can go home and get, and like I'm talking about any EA game pretty much. Like day one now, Madden comes out, or NBA comes out on Xbox for free now. That's fucking ridiculous. They got the show, which is a Sony game, but it's MLB. Like now they have that because like
that was the reason why I went with a PlayStation and not an Xbox, was there were no baseball games.
The only one that's a good one.
No baseball games that were available for anything but PlayStation.
MLB told Sony that they needed to let it go onto Microsoft because baseball needs fans. And they know that that's a way to get people, into it. So anyhow, like they just, what it is Xbox has been listening to, Microsoft has been listening to gamers and the customers for the last 7 years.
They're the company that cares.
No. But at the same time, more than PlayStation is if you have like cerebral palsy or you have some type of inability to use game controllers, they have adaptive controllers for people with disabilities to use. Right. And that's a huge part of what they want to do and be part of. They just introduced speech to text for when you're in games, for chats and stuff like that, that they've introduced for people that need that also. But they've just been listening, and they know this is the way that they need to do it. So just awesome to see that. As a gamer, as somebody that's loved the Xbox since it came out, I've had one since it came out in 2002, 2001, whenever it was, 2003. I've always had one, and just it's neat to see them oh man, like they're better than Nintendo this year. Like that's nuts. That's nuts. PlayStation doesn't do theirs until July because they weren't at E3 this year.
Yeah,
but they're gonna have some great games too. Like it's a good time to be a gamer.
it is. I still have the PS4, and we're probably not upgrading anytime soon.
Oh yeah, no. Listen, there's no need to. There's so many games. Like you're fine.
Yeah.
I don't play. I'm always the
games.
last one to get the new.
Yeah, I mean, PS5 has been out since last fall, and it's still not sitting in stores.
Well, and it's also they don't have a whole lot until Ratchet and Clank just came out. They hadn't really had anything that was 100% designed just for the system.
Right.
Xbox is kind of in a similar situation. They have a lot of stuff that's been updated and upgraded.
Sure, and stuff. The PS4 games look amazing on PS5. I've heard.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's all of that. But I'm long since the place where I'm like, oh, I need the latest and greatest thing. I want to talk about Batman going down.
Oh yeah.
Or actually, Batman not going
What's
down.
up with this bullshit?
I don't know, but apparently Batman doesn't go down. At least that's what DC Comics said. They dropped the hammer on an oral sex scene in the Harley Quinn animated series,
Which is rated R, right? Isn't it? Is it?
I think it is.
I believe so.
It's not a kid's show.
Well, producers of the HBO Max adult animated
yeah.
series really tried to push the envelope, but a co-creator, Justin Halpern, says he was told by DC that he absolutely cannot do that because A, heroes don't do that, and B, how are they supposed to sell Batman toys if the hero's performing oral sex? Well, maybe that's not the toy you sell. Maybe pussy-looking Batman is not on the shelf at Target.
I want that.
Pussy-looking Batman.
Just
Halpern,
Batman with his fingers like this.
Halpern told Variety they get a lot more creative freedom when it comes to writing and developing villains. They can do pretty much anything, but there are all kinds of rules for the superheroes. I don't know. If you ask most ladies, I would say they would posit that superheroes do go down.
Yeah, that's what.
Just what makes him a superhero,
Right? I mean, there is that. And someone posted, and I'm trying to find it. I believe it was there was a beer in the 90s called, was it Red Dog?
Yeah.
Okay. You turn that upside down, it looks like Batman going down on somebody.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I cannot find it right now. There were Red Dog Batman. Okay, Red Dog logo Batman. There it is. Yeah, it's if you turn the Red Dog logo upside down, it looks like Batman eating pussy.
I could see that.
Now you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Now you can't unsee it, and it's like thank God that they don't sell this beer anymore.
Yeah,
This is one of the beers that I drank in college, so I'm familiar with that. So yeah, I was just like, I'm not really into the animated series, so I don't really know, but I just found it interesting. Heroes don't go down. I'm like, okay, DC, this is why you're losing to Marvel.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I hear. I mean, you got to believe that at least one of the Avengers goes down.
Oh, I mean,
I bet Iron Man eats pussy.
oh, without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, just look at Pepper Potts.
she steamed that one.
Oh yeah.
I'm not
Iron
looking at-
Man eats steamed pussy. Is what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
yo,
This is not a show for the children, by the way.
this is not.
I don't know how we're going to sell this show as a toy. DC, how will we sell this show as a toy? I've just talked about steamed pussy.
Oh man. This is the same place that like published Sin City and like the Sandman comic books and all of that. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. And they also had like how are you going to have one of the biggest storylines of Batman be about the Joker raping Batgirl? Like one of the biggest like and most like controversial parts of the comics that they had. How's that okay? How's that okay, DC? But it's not okay for Batman to go down on a woman? That sounds misogynistic because that's fucked up, dude.
It's not okay to go down on Catwoman. I mean, maybe if there were a lovely lady who wasn't a villain, maybe he could do that.
Yeah.
Catwoman's not a villain. She's like the in between. She's an anti-hero, right? Isn't that's
You
not
say
a
she
villain?
Swings both ways.
Without a doubt.
Catwoman swings both ways.
Without a doubt. She just has a thing for bats.
So
Yes.
as we let's talk about a lady who is not Catwoman. She's allegedly some sort of doctor. She uses that in her name, and she's in Ohio. And this happened in
This fucking lady.
this happened in the Ohio. This happened in the Ohio legislature.
Thinking if you can think of any other product in any other industry that has killed more than 5,000 people stated in the VAERS database, and even if only half of those are true, 2,500 deaths in 6 months of use, and it's still full court press, full steam ahead. So it makes one have to wonder why. Why are we still doing this? Why are we putting people into nursing homes like that happened in New York and put people with known COVID into place?
Okay, she's talking about vaccines, COVID-19 vaccines. By the way, that's not true. There have not been 5,000 or even 2,500 deaths related to the vaccine at all. It's all bullshit. Just her name is Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. I believe she is a villain of some sort.
It's in her name. Like it's like that name is the villain's name. It's Dr. Tenpenny.
Well, you thought so. There's the untrue. There's the untrue thing, but then there's the pure craziness that happened after that.
Discussed on your podcast related to EMF frequencies.
That was a thought,
And
it
would
was
you,
because
can you
now
elaborate
right
on
now.
By the way, a crazy lady said a thought on a podcast once. I don't remember all of the things that I said as we led into this show here today. I'm sure some of them were nuts. I would not sit in front of the California legislature and insist that the things I said in the first 5 minutes of this show were important, factual things. Some of them were just me spitballing off the top of my head, and by God, I'm not rolling in front of state lawmakers and having them analyze it and going, no, you don't know. So there's that. Let's continue with what her thoughts that she was spitballing on a podcast.
Kind of hypothesizing. I mean, what is it that's actually being transmitted that's causing all of these things? Is it a combination of the protein, which now we're finding has a metal attached to it? I'm sure you've seen the pictures all over the internet
sure.
of people who've had these shots, and now
I'm sure you've seen the pictures all over the internet. I have, and it's the Red Dog logo. It looks like Batman. It looks like Batman is eating out some lady. We're going to toss some lozenges over to Kareem. We continue.
They're magnetized. They can put a key on their forehead, it sticks. They can put spoons and forks all over them and they can stick. Because now we think that there's a metal piece to that. There's been people who've long suspected that there was some sort of an interface, yet to be defined, an interface between what's being injected in these shots and all of the 5G towers.
You are nuttier than squirrel turds, lady. And yet, the Ohio legislature let this woman stand there and talk, claiming there's metal in the vaccine that causes forks to stick to your forehead. I mean,
5G, man. 5G is a motherfucker.
it really is. See, Kareem, it came for you. Which then led to this nurse. So, okay. There can be idiots and assholes in every profession. Here's a nurse. Now, she's an anti-vaccine nurse because, of course, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yes, vaccines do harm people. By the way, so I just found out something when I was on lunch, and I wanted to show it to you. We were talking about Dr. Tenpenny's testimony about magnetic vaccine crystals. So this is what I found out. So I have a key and a bobby pin here. Explain.
And it sticks to her chest. And she's like, explain this. I don't know, you're sweaty?
Exactly.
Explain to me why the key sticks to me.
Because you're sticky? Then she tries to...
Sticks to my neck, too.
Except it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It does not stick to her neck at all.
I got this.
And she puts it down.
Yeah, so if somebody can explain this, that would be great.
As it will not stick to her neck. She's like, if somebody could explain this.
Your face is oilier than your neck and also most likely sweatier. So those two things kind of mix together.
It's her décolletage that was sticky.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's that, of course. I mean, that's
where the dude blew his load on you that's still sticky. I mean, you have to wonder.
You
have to wonder. I'm just positing it on a podcast. I mean, you're
It's
just
a
throwing
thought.
it out.
It's
Just a thought.
It's just a thought.
Just a thought that some random stranger that she jerked off in the hallway closet left his residue on her that made her sticky.
Yes.
She thought it was on her neck too, but it wasn't. And that's why that didn't stick there. I'm just positing it on a podcast. We're just throwing it out there. I mean, do we have any other explanations for it that make sense? I don't know. You see what can happen when you just start making shit up? By the way, it stuck to you because you're fucking sticky, you silly, silly bitch.
Silly. But let's not ruin the word silly by calling her silly. Like, because I call my daughter a silly goose. And then she says, silly goop.
I didn't call her a goose.
I know you said silly, but...
And there's a reason for that. Which then led to this question from a lawmaker to Dr. Tenpenny.
For the record, if I missed it here or there, of the 5.5 million Ohioans who have gotten the COVID-19 shot through today over the last 6 months, how many do you believe have been killed by that shot?
Well, I guess I could just talk to you, right? So, I don't know.
Okay, at least she said, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you just making testimony that there are people that are dying from this, but you don't know how many people in your own state who have. I hate the fact that he posited the question as, how many people do you believe have died from it? Because this isn't a belief situation.
But I understand why he asked the question the way he asked it.
Sure.
Because he was going to give her a chance to throw out a number, so you'd be like, no, bitch, it's only 2.
The answer is probably none.
Probably none, but yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that was happening in Ohio, the Florida of the North. And when you think to yourself, well, that's craziness.
Yeah.
These lawmakers, they deal with all sorts of craziness all over the place. Look at a city council meeting. It's a bunch of crazy people. Let's turn to U.S. Senator Susan Collins. Clearly, she's a reasonable person, right?
I would assume.
Nope.
She went on Face the Nation.
Third, there would be a provision for electric vehicles to pay their fair share of using our roads and bridges. Right now, they are literally free riders because they're not paying any gas tax. So those are 3 of the provisions that we've taken a look at.
Go fuck yourself, Susan Collins. By the way, no. if you're driving an electric vehicle, you have not paid a gas tax. But, let me put this out there, you still pay to register your vehicle.
Yep.
You're still paying state fees and taxes on the electricity you use to charge your vehicle.
Yep.
If the state chooses to not do that, and the electric company knows what you're using to charge your vehicle, they do. If you've chosen not to make that adjustment at the state level, Susan Collins can simply go back to Maine and fuck herself.
Not that I want to.
Are you going to defend Susan Collins?
How do you freeload
I'm
if
gonna,
the whole purpose in you having an electric car is so that you don't do gas car damage?
So here, and I know this because what my wife's job is. All right, so I just know this.
Go ahead and try and justify it.
And at least in the state of California,
Sure.
a majority of the money that's used to fix roads in the state comes from the gas tax. The majority.
Okay.
All right.
Well, maybe they need to readjust that.
They're trying to figure it out because can you imagine what it's like trying to tell people that they need to pay more tax on something or different tax on something? Like they're just trying to get people to get into the vehicles in the first place right now.
By the way, we pay tax on the electricity. Maybe we take that's being used to charge the vehicles.
Too bad we privatized.
And again, PG&E knows, but they're still taxing PG&E on that. PG&E is paying tax on the electric that we use. They know what we use to charge our electric car. The state could take that and then put that into the fund to fix the roads.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Here's the thing: it's ridiculous for them to be like.
And I know that this has been brought up before. There in Washington State, they were talking about that too. The states where there are a lot of electric cars and a lot of hybrid cars that don't use as much gas, their gas tax revenues have gone down, and they have not been proactive about figuring out a way around it. So they wanted to go ahead and go, you know what we're going to do? We're going to tax you because you bought a hybrid car. Yeah. And everybody with a Ford F-150 went, yeah, tax those liberals. I think it's the 5G. It's raising something up.
5G's gonna get you
right here, because we pay a premium to have a hybrid. We pay a premium price to have an electric car, and it's to save the environment. So you assholes can breathe cleaner air and have cleaner water, and you can go fuck yourself. There we go. Figure out how you're allocating your shit. Talk to an accountant about allocating your shit properly, and not talk to an accountant about...
They can't,
No, they can! They don't fucking want to! I've lost my inner peace. Stop defending stupidity. You are defending stupidity and laziness, and there's no reason for it. They know how much electricity we use to charge the fucking car. They know it. We get it on the statement. They absolutely fucking know how much we pay for that. And they could take what they tax on that and put it into fixing the roads, but they're not. They're putting it somewhere else.
Taxes have to be
taxes
approved.
are going in. It's being taxed. It's being put in. It's extra money.
Not.
They weren't getting that tax money when we didn't have electric cars to charge. So that's new fucking electric tax money that they're putting somewhere else that they're not putting where they should to fix the road. And now they're coming back and wanting to double dip. Fuck you. Figure it out. It's 2021. Jesus fucking Christ. Fuck you and fuck Susan Collins, her old Maine lobster eating ass. Figure it the fuck out. Let's posit that on a fucking podcast for a moment, shall we? And I appreciate your wife does important work with the legislature. I get that. But figure it out. Not necessarily you, Christine. Someone needs to figure this shit out.
The state of California needs to make it so the legislature can't change laws and they can't add taxes. It has to be approved by the people.
It's already a tax.
How to allocate those taxes?
Then what are they doing? If they can't make a decision, they can't make a decision. Then what are they doing? I'm going to vote for Caitlyn Jenner now.
And wait.
I'm asking a question. The tax that you have, is that a fee or a tax by PG&E? Is that a state tax or is it a tax? Or
Every
fee?
bit of electricity that you use gets taxed by PG&E to pay into the state.
Right.
Every bit of it.
So are they now? What I'm asking
And
is,
they know how much is used to charge the car.
But is PG&E proactively doing it on their own and doing it, or is it the state asking them to do it?
What are you talking about?
Well,
They
I'm
charge for every bit of electricity you use.
I get it. I get that. But
so what are you asking me?
You're saying that they know the difference between you charging a car.
Yes,
and
I can look at my statement and it will tell me how much electricity I used to charge my car.
Okay.
How much electricity was used for that?
Okay, so they can see exactly how much electricity was used just for that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so from that, they know how much tax they collected for that usage.
But that tax that's being collected in the first place that's being used is already, it's not earmarked for that. That tax is already.
Then fix it! They weren't getting electrical tax before.
I'm almost certain that it is, because otherwise you wouldn't be keeping track of it.
Well, no, but PG&E might be just doing it because it's another way for them to get money and say this is a fee, or this. Like, that's what I'm saying. Is it a tax, or does it say it's a fee or something? Because that's the difference. Like, because PG&E can be just fucking you. I don't know. I don't live in Sacramento. I don't have an electric vehicle that's getting charged.
But this is another fucking wedge issue to be brought up by fucking Susan Collins to make it look like she's doing something. That's what the fuck did she?
Yeah, I know.
She's doing nothing. And by the way, the federal government can eat my ass if they want to talk about. Because the gas tax ain't doing I mean, yes, there's the federal gas tax.
But all of the fucking road work and stuff that's being done in California is being done from our fucking tax.
Oh, I know. I get it. Like, I'm saying with California tax, like, so I don't. And yeah, I know that
I'm saying my hand hurts now.
I'm sorry, buddy.
I'm saying my hand hurts. It's Susan Collins' fault. We're not going to get to any part of the show here we had planned for.
Susan Collins is,
but it's been good pod.
It's been okay.
You had an Alex Jones moment.
I had serenity.
If you could just if you took your shirt off now and you start glistening, like
maybe a key would. If I didn't have all this chest hair, maybe a key would stick to me. I don't know. Maybe an Ohio keys stick to you. I don't know. By the way, we found out that. Many wealthy Americans escape big income tax bills, like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, who were both billionaires who got exponentially richer during COVID-19, paid no tax. How about, just for a second, Susan Collins, how about we fucking fix that? How about that? How about Jeff Bezos pays for our fucking roads instead of taking a goddamn penis-shaped rocket into space for his fucking birthday? How about that? How about we look at that? How about we look at these corporations who pay no fucking taxes? How about that? But no, we want to turn around and go, well, you drive an electric car. You're free riding on all the things. I'm free riding! Captain Tesla paid no taxes!
And Captain Tesla got his R&D from our tax money to become a billionaire. He got the technology from research and development that we as taxpayers paid for.
Fuck that dude. Fuck all both those
we paid for
it. We paid for him to be. We sowed the seeds for him to be a fucking billionaire.
And the same thing happens with all of these pharmaceutical companies that talk about how much money they spend on research and development. Most of the research and development is done by our tax dollars.
NIH, baby.
And then it goes out and it gets licensed to these fucking companies who then rape us for the drugs that we need to stay alive and stay healthy. But by all means, Susan Collins, let's raise the tax on someone with an electric car because they're free riding.
Yes. And
I hope you get stuck in Millinocket. That's a real problem. That's middle of fucking nowhere, Maine, by the way.
Yes.
And maybe Maine can stop sucking off the teat of all the wealthier states.
Stop sending Susan Collins.
Was it Maine or Delaware is the Panama of the United States?
I don't know what that means.
Delaware.
It's Delaware.
Delaware and South Dakota are where all the credit card bills come from. Because
the banking, so it's the banking.
Yes.
Yeah, so it is the Panama of the United States.
You know who's from there? Joe Biden. We might as well have Donald Trump back. You're right, Kareem. Fuck it all. It doesn't matter. Fuck it all. Bring Trump back. Bring him back. Bring back the whole fucking circus. I don't even care anymore. You know, everything should be better now, and it's not. I was feeling good. And remember last week when I told a happy story about teaching my toddler that she needed to use words because Stevie Wonder would be confused if he babysat her.
Yes.
Yeah, now we've certainly come a long way from that point, haven't we? Now I've hurt my hand pounding it on the table, and I'm angry at Susan Collins.
Well, I mean, you should be.
Everyone should
Everybody
be.
should be.
Everybody should.
Everyone should be. I think he learned his lesson. Do you? Is that why we had to impeach him again? You senator from Maine.
Yeah, wait until you find out that he was listening to everything you said also, looking through your emails.
Oh, I think
wait until you find out that,
that might be why she thought he was going to learn his lesson, because he told her, "Hey, bitch, I've been listening to all your shit." So
that's it. I mean, honestly, that's we know why all these Republicans aren't doing shit, because
you know what drives me nuts about her more than anything else. It's not her inane policies and things that she's advocating for. It's the tone that she uses. The tone that she uses just infuriates me. It's just the most maddening bullshit tone.
yeah,
It's the worst. All right, let's go to Florida. No music. We're just going to Florida. And I say this because if we don't, then there'll be no reason for the title of the show. Headline, couple used playground as tunnel of love. Responding to a 9:10 a.m. tip about, that's right, 9:10 a.m.
tip.
I mean,
just the tip. About a couple trysting in a Florida park, a patrolman discovered a man performing a sex act on his girlfriend within the children's crawling tunnel at the Pocahontas Park in Vero Beach. When the cop arrived at the park on a Friday morning, he reported observing Sharon Finley, 52, laying on her back face up in her jean shorts pulled around her ankles, nude, with her legs spread apart and vagina exposed. Finley's companion, Jermaine Jackson, not Batman, 44, was atop Finley, quote, with his face within her crotch area, end quote. Asked what they were doing, Finley told the cop that the couple was making out. Jackson was more direct. He said, "I was eating some pussy." I'm not Batman. I'm eating some pussy.
I was giving her mouth pussy resuscitation. I just gave her the wrong lips.
Now, adjacent to the playground's crawling tunnel was a bottle of Gulf Crest vodka and 2 cans of Four Loko. Remember, it was 9:10 a.m.
Crazy pussy.
Finley reportedly explained, quote, "We were both drinking the Four Loko and the vodka, and you only live once." Well, that's, you do. I mean, I guess. Unless you believe in reincarnation. I think I hurt my wrist, by the way.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to rile you up so much.
I'll stop defending nonsense. Finley and Jackson were each arrested for possession of an open container, and that's what they got them for? Anyway. They escaped additional charges related to their crawling tunnel antics, since there were no further complainants who reported seeing the above-mentioned incident. So they just got cited for open container.
That's all right.
Thanks, Florida. Is it? It's 9:10 a.m. It's 9:10 a.m. You've got kids, Jason. You have play dates in a park.
Oh yeah, I try to get there by 9 a.m.
It's 9:10 a.m. and there's a dude in the crawling tunnel eating some pussy. You good with him just getting the open container charge?
Well, he wouldn't be there. If I got there with my kids, he wouldn't be there long enough for the cops to get there. You know what I mean? Like,
you throw him off so you could finish her?
Yep.
Finish her!
Like, CJ, Alma, I'm going to put you in this swing over here, give you a couple big push, Daddy will be right back.
There's a reason Jason has them still in the rear-facing car seat, so they don't have to witness that.
You know it.
Meanwhile, a 21-year-old Florida woman who was naked from the waist down inside a Circle K told the cop that, quote, another deputy told her it was fine to do that. Doubtful. Responding to a 1:30 a.m. naked woman in public call. That's a more respectable time to be naked in public, I guess. Police found Kendall Mabry without her pants or underwear inside the convenience store.
She was Donald Ducking it?
Mm-hmm. She was. Porky Pigging it. About 45 miles from Orlando, a Circle K clerk and a sheriff's deputy both reported seeing Mabry emerge from the store's bathroom with no pants or underwear on. When asked about her state of undress, she reportedly stated that another deputy told her that it was fine to do that. She smelled of alcohol, according to police, and her speech was slurred. Additionally, the smell of marijuana was coming out of her vehicle, and her pants were found inside of her car. She lives 5 miles from the Circle K, was arrested for disorderly intoxication, booked into the county jail, released after posting $500 bond. She's pleaded not guilty to the misdemeanor count and was not charged for going pantsless inside the store. You going soft on crime, Florida? Ron DeSantis, where the fuck are you?
Oh, that guy seen her ass.
Ron
before.
DeSantis, where are you? Where are you? Our children, Ron DeSantis. Why aren't you protecting our children from these perverts?
She's 5 miles from the store. He's seen that ass before.
Ron DeSantis, soft on crime. Ron DeSantis. Son of a bitch. Anyway, we're going to move forward here. We've talked about a lot of shitty things today. Pun intended. They have shut down production on Ultimate Slip and Slide.
Somebody die?
NBC did. No.
Okay.
Not that serious. It was a report of explosive diarrhea outbreak.
Yeah.
All that water shooting up the asshole.
Oh man, oh jeez. They have all the places you do not want explosive diarrhea to be at. It's definitely in a water slide park.
Well. See, here's the rub, so to speak. It was a crew member that tested positive for Giardia, which is a microscopic parasite.
Oh yeah, it's no good.
That when swallowed causes diarrheal disease. The upcoming game show Ultimate Slip and Slide has been halted indefinitely after a crew member on its Simi Valley set tested positive for Giardia. People can confirm that the shutdown, which began on June 2nd when producers were made aware of at least one crew member's positive test. At the time, only a week of scheduled production was left in the series, which is set to premiere after the Summer Olympics, because of course it is. If you're wondering, Giardia can be found on surfaces or in soil, food, or water that has been contaminated with feces from infected people or animals.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a zoonotic. So like that's one of those things you have to worry about with your dog too, like because dogs because they just drink water anywhere.
Yeah.
Now to determine, and they also eat shit.
And they eat
There's
shit.
that.
Is
They
that.
drink water anywhere.
No.
And they'll eat their own
When
shit.
I worked at the veterinarian, like that's what they said. That was more like that's where they would get it from, is drinking water.
Yeah, they only eat the cleanest shit.
Or their own.
To determine the problem, water on set was tested by a third-party environmental lab in cooperation with the LA County Department of Public Health and the Ventura County Public Health. Those samples from a well, pond, poolside, water truck, and restroom all tested negative. Results of additional testing came back on June 10th, showing that Giardia was on the set's surrounding area. It's not known how many. Maybe the guy was eating some pussy in the surrounding area, and that's how he got it.
Eating some ass. That's what he was eating.
It's not known. It's tossing salad.
Much more likely he was tossing that salad.
Tossing some salad. Citing a person with knowledge of the production, The Wrap, who first published news of the shutdown, reported that up to 40 crew members fell violently ill.
Did he have pink eye too?
That will shut down production. 40 crew members experiencing an outbreak of awful explosive diarrhea, some collapsing and being forced to run to porta potties. Oh God, 40 people with explosive diarrhea and porta potties.
Oh,
we have found the fifth ring of hell.
Seriously though, like this, like somebody was contaminated. Like there was somebody that had Giardia there.
Somebody,
and they gave it to everybody.
You know, there was a hot chick with Giardia, and everybody ate her ass.
yes.
That's what happened.
Or the person that does the coffee and
The Kraft food
the Kraft
sauce.
food. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They didn't wash their hands out of taking a shit.
Yes.
Or they took a shit in the coffee pot.
Yes.
They're like, man, fuck these people.
Yep. That's it. Anyway, they
Look
say
for the person with pink eye.
Yeah.
they said that health and safety is
And a brown
their
nose.
top priority.
What's that?
I say, look for the person with pink eye and a brown nose.
If you're wondering, the hosts are Bobby Moynihan and Ron Funches.
Right.
Maybe it was Ron Funches. Wouldn't that be a scandal?
Oh,
Ron's lost a lot of weight. Maybe that's how.
That's how.
maybe he's like, no, man, yeah, I got you. I lost hella weight.
that is how Ron Funches has lost a lot of weight. Oh. Not Funches. I kid. I can't imagine Ron Funches would have giardia.
No.
Be spreading it around like that.
Wasn't him.
Now, Bobby Moynihan, I could see.
Of course it was. His drunk uncle.
Yes. He was definitely eat some ass.
Oh, boy. All right. So before we get to small town news, I just want to ask you guys, what's your takeaway from the show today, Jason?
Don't defend stupid shit.
Yeah, it's good. It's good you're learning. I like that. Like that. Kareem, what did you learn today?
That you can make Nate lose his his deep, sexy voice by defending stupid shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I moved away from the mic to yell because it would have just been really, really distorted if I didn't do that. Hi to the people who've hung in on Facebook. Appreciate you. That's what I want to say. All right. Here's what I've learned today. Susan Collins pisses me off. Ohio has a lot of really dumb people. And I bought a really sturdy table for Studio A because I do believe I've hurt my hand and my wrist a little bit.
No, bud.
No, it's my own fault. I'm gonna take accountability for it. Nope, it's definitely tweaked it a little bit. There was a lot of anger in there. I mean, it knocked your phone off the holder.
Not once, but twice.
Yeah, well,
sorry,
stupid shit. Anyway, we're gonna wrap up the show now with a little small town news from my home state of Vermont, where there was a big event that happened right in front of the State House in Montpelier. So very exciting. The smallest, least populous state capital in the country, Montpelier, Vermont. That's how you say it, by the way, Montpelier. Montpelier. Yeah. I'm not going to go with the super intense French pronunciation of it because there's no need.
Yeah, fuck the French.
Let's not go that far.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm half French and half Scottish. I'm a lover on a budget. So two stereotypes. One's terrible and the other one is sort of complimentary. So I'm going to own it like black people that embrace the myth of the giant penis. Anyway, it's time
Is it a myth?
I'm guessing. I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Will we?
Ask that lady in Ohio with the key. Yes.
Well, everybody, next week, come here and we will see.
See if his asshole is as sore as his wrist.
Look, you don't need to ride something to know how big it is.
I just need to see it.
By the way, here's the other thing about that. I mean, now that COVID restrictions are being lifted right and left, I mean, why can't you go up to a random black guy and ask to see his penis?
Let me just see your cock.
Yeah, I'm exploring the idea that the large black penis is a myth. Would you care to weigh in? And I will bet you, Kareem, that 90% of the black guys will not weigh in, thus proving small dicks.
Or they just want to show their penis to some random white guy on the street.
Exactly.
Look,
what kind of freaky shit is you?
You just do some white people shit.
Look, if you posited on a
They'd
podcast,
be like, dude, are you trying to pay me to fuck your wife? What is up?
Oh, bro, like, listen, let me just see a picture of your wife, bro. Look, I'm down. You can see it in the.
Yeah, it'd be like, look, I said them.
You can sit over in the corner and watch. Do not get your ass up out of that chair.
I said some things on a podcast, and now, unlike that lady in Ohio, I'm doing the scientific research required to prove it.
It's honorable too, though. I mean,
it would be. I'm not doing that.
You're not.
No. No, because here's what would happen. I'm going to say somewhere between 5 and 10 times punched in the face.
That's
Punched in the face.
Yes.
Possibly, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And a possibility of just the attempt at slapping, which, as we know, is the more humiliating thing than the punch in the face.
Yes.
And I'm not doing that for this podcast. I mean, we've been doing it for 10 years, and I will not be slapped around for the podcast. So I guess we'll just have to take my word for it that the large black penis is a complete myth.
That's just a thought you had.
I mean, if your proof is just, hey, look at porn. Well, hey, look at porn. Then all white guys have big dicks.
Yeah.
Except for the ones where the black guy is fucking his wife. Then not. Anyway,
I usually just look for, like, that's my search terms are like average penis length, vagina, tits.
I don't Google penis. I'm not searching for penis when I'm looking for porn.
I'm just searching for average size penis.
Yeah, I'm not looking for penis at all. I mean,
you're the one that said we'll see. So I don't know.
Apparently, you'll see.
I mean, I watch porn.
Yeah, I mean, we all watch porn.
So I mean, I want to see some dick.
I mean, usually you're going to see some dick if you watch porn.
Yes.
But that's not the thing that you're searching for. Anyway, meanwhile in Vermont.
And along with the naked bike riders, World Knit Outside Day was also held on the Capitol lawn this afternoon.
Hold on. How's that for a transition?
As well as the naked bike riders.
That is some white people shit right there.
By the way, if you're going to edit that for the web, maybe pick it up at the transition point.
Yeah.
Where he just says, the outdoor knitting event happened. You don't need to put this awkwardness in there. Someone in the edit booth does not care for this guy.
And along with the naked bike riders, World Knit Outside Day was also held on the Capitol lawn this afternoon. Each year, they gather to help put knitting into the spotlight and to chat and knit together. The Green Mountain Knitting Guild hosts the event to show that knitting is for people of all ages and genders. It also just so happens to occur on the day.
And it just so happens they're all old white ladies. But it's for all genders and ages. Everybody in this video.
They just want somebody to show up, right? None of their grandkids are visiting anymore.
I think, judging by the lead-in story, they just showed up for the naked bike riders. They're like, oh, look at that penis.
Of the naked bike ride each year.
Those are some
It's for people of all ages and genders. It also just so happens to occur on the day of the naked bike ride each year.
Coincidence? I think not. It is not a coincidence. These freaky ladies sit out there with their knitting so they can look at penises flopping by on bikes.
And perky breasts. Like, that's probably like nice. Like, oh, look at that 22-year-old man. Her tits are going to be at her knees by the time she's 62.
Have you seen a naked bike ride ever?
My tits look like that.
Have you ever seen a perky-titted 22-year-old girl at a naked bike ride?
She didn't have
exactly.
She didn't have big tits.
Yeah. You know who does the naked bike ride? The 60-year-old dude with the saggy nuts. That's the naked bike rider.
Man, when I was at Burning Man, I saw one of those dudes.
Go to San Francisco any weekend. They're there. You saw just one of them?
It's a chance to get together in beautiful weather on the State House lawn and knit with our fellow fiber artists and also enjoy the World Naked Bike Ride, which was a great surprise to us on the first year. Since then, it's something we look forward to every year, seeing them again and just waving them on.
Yeah, waving them on their vaginas.
Waving them in. Come on in.
Hey, 100%. Like, first time was on accident. Second time.
By the way, none of you are Batman, right? Yes. Okay.
Go back and see some dicks.
Anyway, well, that's the show. It was a show.
It was a show.
You had to wait till Wednesday night, but we gave you a show. I hope you enjoyed it. We had a little bit of everything for everybody. A little bit of dick talk, a little bit of titty talk, me yelling about stuff.
Yeah, I thought I thought you two were going to be the ones that I was going to have to separate at the beginning of the show.
No, just me from everything. And just to be clear, I agree that the Democrats need to do some shit. They need to get some shit done.
100%.
I agree. I think it's a terrible idea if they don't get shit done to then just go, fuck it, let the Republicans take over. I think that's a terrible idea. But I guess that's where we diverge in our viewpoints.
Yes.
Just saying.
I'm not saying that it's a good idea. I'm just saying that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea. Anyway, we'll be back next week. Kareem will not be here next week.
I will be in North Carolina by the time you guys are recording.
So let me just say this: if you'd like to sit over there where Kareem is and have me yell at you, reach out. Maybe we can find a seat for you on the show too. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. Anyway, fuck it. Bye.
Bye. Oh man, so I was eating some pussy the other day.